all in perspective? Can we see each other great? Can we hear each other well? No, I'm saying each other like I can see and hear you guys. Are we all together? Okay. Well, welcome to our regularly scheduled time of a Saturday moment. We made it happen in August. We're here. I'm so glad you're here with me. I'm glad you tuned in to get your moment. I'm glad you said, world, stop. I need to do something for myself that is holistic, that is healing, that is loving, that is nurturing, that is growing. Bump what I'm doing for everybody else. Bump what everything is demanding of me. Bump what I think needs to be done, hasn't been done, will be done. I am taking myself a moment. Thank you for taking a moment with Harmony, a moment of harmony with Harmony. I'm so very grateful for you. And surely, I hope that I am a part of your wellness routine. I'm honored to be a part of that if that is the case. But I do hope you have a plethora of things that you get into throughout the week that make you feel good, make you move good, make you heal good. Okay? Yeah, I know it's getting. I just want to make sure I'm all in the screen. Also got a little one who wants to sleep in the bed with me. I don't need her all on my screen, okay? So I'm making sure it's just you and I. So again, welcome. We are in a reflection series. It is going wonderfully. We are reflecting. We are sankofaing. We are going back to get. We are looking into for the reasons of healing, becoming, overcoming, growing, and it's been going great. You guys have been so receptive. You guys have been so participatory. You guys have been so involved in your healing, my healing, and the healing of others, all connected. Because when you come on here to get your moment, you like, share, subscribe, view it, we are touching and agreeing. That is a universal touch and agree. I agree, and we are sharing the momentum of a moment, and it is going to be a beautiful thing for all involved. So, our moment today is reflect on the movement. Before I get into my moment, because I do want us to get into reflecting on the movement, I know that there's many of us that feel stuck and stagnant and just indecisive and stuck in patterns. We're dealing with all that today. So before we get into it, because I don't want any interruptions, once I'm in it, and you know how my brain will interrupt me in the middle of my own thought, I want to just give a couple of quick shout outs, right? There's some awesome things that I've come in contact with this week. And I was like, I cannot wait to get into my moment and share them. So like I said, I hope that you all are connected to a plethora of things that are involved that directly result in your healing, your growth, your empowerment, your improvement. And I got a couple of those things right here, okay? First thing I want to go ahead and put out there some things I took part that really got me together this week. Mama Neo News, Remembering Our Babies, she does a walk every Saturday at 11, so it's like right at the conclusion of this video, and some people are watching me on the way to her, and y'all know that's just best friend stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because she is doing a walk at Lake Montebello every Saturday at 11, and she's walking for those that have had transitioned babies or family members who are still grieving, who are needing to unite, who are needing to heal physically, emotionally, spiritually. She's doing that. And I have been doing that with her, been going out there with her from time to time when the schedule allots. And it is so healing because, of course, I have loved ones who have had miscarriages or stillbirths or babies or children that have had transition, like my own baby brother who, of course, my mom, that would be her child, but I am a family member of that. Extremely healing on all types of levels. Please make sure you visit Remembering Our Babies on Facebook. It is a Facebook page if you would like to get interested or get signed up for anything like that. Right, you or anyone you know, anyone you're close to, grieving the loss of their child, grieving the loss of a family member that may not been a child that you gave birth to or that you parented, but you are the aunt, the grandmother, the godmother, the uncle, the brother, the sister, like the nephew. You know what I'm saying? You're still needing healing. They're still needing remembering. Remembering Our Babies on the Facebook page. Second thing, the lips, right? People been messaging me about the lips. I know some people are like, what is she talking about? Some people have been messaging me about the lip gloss. It is always Amora Luxor. It is all natural, light, vegan lip gloss. She also has lip scrubs. She just does the whole mouth thing, right? It's Queen Amora. But on Instagram, it is Amora Luxor Beauty. Amora Luxor, all one word. Amora, capital A, Mora, capital Luxor, and then the word beauty, Beauty, on Instagram. Amora Luxor Beauty, very affordable, very light, very natural, and very good. No chemicals. You're not eating things and going into your body every time you sip or drink or talk. They stay popping. You don't get dried out. No white lines. None of that. Like, that's where it's from. Amora Luxor Beauty on Instagram. Hit her up. Get that. Two more. A Safo training day. The organization PLM is doing a Safo training day. They did a whole training week for boys of another age, but they're out there getting our sons prepared to be warriors. I'm actually going to be rushing out with Kingdom right after this moment, but getting them out there, physical, mental, spiritual exercise, getting them fit, getting them out those devices and into their divinity. Yeah, know what I'm saying? So whenever you see those pop up, and also they also have a UYIP Facebook page. UYIP. U is an umbrella, Y is in yes, I is an igloo, P is in person. UYIP Facebook page. So just go and visit anytime you see a Safo Training Day flyers and you have a son within the age range, a nephew, a grandson, any young male that's needing loving, nurturing, and honing development, get them in there. That's gonna work. I'm so excited for Kingdom to do that today. He is definitely in a sister sandwich. He is definitely up under his mama, and I need some men to make him. Okay? So, Safo Training Day. And last but not least, oh my God, suffered from serious migraine this week. Yesterday, headache hit me up. My homeboy Amoru is doing, well, I know he's still working on what the smoothie is going to be called, but he's doing all natural, healthy smoothies, naturally sweetened, no sugar, just really doing these smoothies all up, all types of flavors, all types of mixtures. I got me a banana, watermelon, chia seed, strawberry too, don't forget that. Banana, watermelon, strawberry, chia seed, 32 ounce, like $15. Got rid of my headache, helped me to rest last night, helped me this morning when it came to, things that we need to release and get together. Hey, got it all the way together. The smoothies are amazing and they are great for us. Light, refreshing. Even the little ones was trying to get it on it. But definitely fulfilling, made me feel good, made me feel great, and helped healed up my ailments. Okay? So you can get those smoothies from Amuru, and his Facebook page is Amuru the God. So that's AMURU underscore DA underscore GOD. Go and get you one of those healthy smoothies. Mad varieties, different names. Get them chilled. It did it. It did it for me. I feel great today. You would not know. I was dragging all day yesterday. Groggy, painful, like stress was beating me up. Life was beating me up. Got that smoothie, went to sleep, got good. Okay. I just had to give love to everyone that's been giving love to me and everything that's been working for me this week. And I was like, I got to share it with you all. It's working for me. I pray it works for you. Reach out to any and all of those individuals at any time to get your health back. Get your health right. Okay? Get yourself together. Holistic. That's what that means. Every area, every arena. Please always feel free to share what you do and take care of and what changes your life from day to day in the comments so other people can see and take part in these resources. We have to look out for each other. Now, on to our moment. Okay. Our moments, reflecting on the movement. This is for all of us that get stuck in stagnation and we just feel like we're stuck in toxic patterns and we feel indecisive and we don't know what the next move is. What is my next move? What is the best move? You know what they say, make your next move your best move. And it's like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? I want us to look into movement and the beauty and divinity of movement and how to reflect on our movement. I'm sorry. The movements that worked for us, the movements that didn't work for us, the movements that's happening right now. When you get into a place in your life is just feeling pretty suffocating and overwhelming. And I want you to be able to focus, what's the movement? Who's coming? Who's going? Who's staying? What is the movement in your life right now that's creating the climate of your life right now? Whenever things start to feel stuck, imagine being stuffy in a room or a car that's stuffy. You know that when you open up one window and open up another window, the movement happens. If you are drinking from, say, like a pouch, like a Capri Sun pouch, having multiple holes enhances the flow when you're drinking. If something is stuck, they say, put another hole in it. Back in the day, I think people still use it. We would use the jug containers that you could put up on the table or the counter, and you could press in, this type of movement, for those who know what I'm talking about. You could press in and the water or juice would come out of a spout out of the table container. But and sometimes it would start coming slow and it would be like drip, drip or streaming. But then if you would puncture it with another hole at the top and give it more air, it would start flowing. And flowing is what we're going for, right? And what I'm talking about is what is keeping your movement. What is the next move to improve your movement? What is bringing about the stagnation? What is bringing about the immobility? What is bringing about the, being trapped or frozen, right? What is it? Peace, beautiful girl. So good to see you. But what is bringing about that, and how are we going to get around it, right? How are we going to increase positive movement, positive fluidity, positive flow in our lives in order to stop the stagnation, stop the indecisiveness, stop being stuck, stop feeling, what is it called, pained and overwhelmed and pressured into where you're being, stop being crushed, where you're not moving forward, and that's what we want. So we're going to get into 3 different components of movement that can help us to better easily more reflect on the movement of our lives. What's coming and going? How are things moving? What's not moving? And why are we feeling like the flow isn't happening in the way in which we need it? So we're going to talk about controlled movement. We're going to talk about motivated movement. And we're going to talk about divine movement. And we're going to be able to now, once we finish this session, hopefully we'll have some tools to look back over our lives in order to say, when I'm stuck here and this isn't taking movement, this isn't moving the way that I would like it, this isn't going on to the next, and I am confused, frustrated, and in doubtful that my next move is the best move and how to make those moves. Ashe. What can I do to make sure that there is movement? Someone say, let there be movement. Ashe. Let there be movement in my life. But not just any movement, y'all, because we can have the movement of shenanigans. Chaos is movement. Corruption is movement, right? Usury, exhaustion. Exhaustion is an over movement. But it's movement in the wrong direction. So we're just saying, let there be divine movement. Let us have constructive movement. Let us have peaceful movement. Let us have movement towards our next level of self. Because there's a lot of things that take you away, very few things to take you where you're going. And we want to hone into those. What are those things? Few but mighty, that take you where you're going. So let's first get into controlled movement, right? Controlled movement. When I say controlled movement, I mean like trauma, patterns, ashe. I mean traumas, destructive patterns, and really just the external influence. Many of us feel disheartened, stuck, lack of movement and motion, lack of productivity because we have controlled movement. We feel like child support is controlling us. Society is controlling us. The finances are controlling us. The schedule, is controlling us. The depression or the sadness is controlling us. Our movement is being dictated by things that were meant to destroy us. If your movement is being aligned, orchestrated by destruction, then the movement is definitely going to be at a standstill. The movement is going to be limited. The movement is going to be counterproductive. So we're at a place where we're saying like everything, I know, I decide if I invest in myself this week based on how much money I have. I decide if I take some time out for something beautiful and healthy within myself, if I decide how much time I have. I decide whether or not I am going to build upon my dreams and my ambitions and my goals, or if I'm even going to allow myself to operate in hope and faith and high vibration. I decide that based on how others treat me or behave in my life. So if work goes well, I'll treat myself well. If the finances are flowing well, then I'll invest in myself well. If the circumstances around me look like I'll have time and energy for self, then I'll give time and energy to self. But if they don't, and I promise you they probably won't, the way life works, you know what I'm saying? If they don't, I won't. If the job is not going the way I want it to go, I won't move smooth. I won't be smooth in movement. I won't be fluid. I just watched I keep on raving about the play Fela, and there's a line where he talks about, and I even think he has a song about it, water has no enemy, right? Water has no enemy. And just saying, like, just going with your flow, being with yourself, operating within your natural and divine beingness. But a lot of us have controlled movement. Life has a gun to our head. Toxic relationships, trauma and abuse, pain and frustration, undesirable circumstances. Life has a gun to our head, and we move when life allows us to move. We go as far as life allows us to go. We dream as much as life allows us to dream. We try as hard as life allows us to try. And then we end up pleading in the midnight hour for peace, for release, for freedom, for progress, for the ability to breathe, for the ability to have life, for the ability to have light. We're begging on our knees and we're wondering why. Creator, how come I can't move to this next position in my job? How come my relationship won't move to this next level of stability? How come my family life or my finances won't move to a place of abundance? Why is there being a lack of movement? Why is life having a lack of movement? Why am I stuck? The insanity of a pattern, a destructive pattern. Oh my gosh. Why am I stuck in the insanity of a destructive pattern, a counterproductive pattern, a dysfunctional pattern? I try, I fail, I give up, life beats me. I think I can, something shows me I can't, I succumb, life drowns me. Why am I stuck in this? I believe, I see struggle, I don't believe, I'm hopeless. Why am I stuck in this pattern of lack of motion, of a lack of movement? And it has a lot to do with being controlled in your movement. If it can control how you move, it can control that you move. Oh my, if I get my words together. If it can control how you move, it can control that you move. So I'm not going to do this because it's going to upset these people, or I'm not going to do this because I don't know if I'm ready for it. I'm not going to make the move. Any of you that's been around, what is it, like the cool cats? I know I sound over saying that, but that's what's coming to my head. Cool cats, those older brothers, or just those guys that are just more street lingo. Whenever you link up with them and you're just like, hey, what's going on? Peace, hotep, hi. They'll be like, what's the move? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's such a powerful question. It's not how are you doing? Where you're going? How was your day? It says, what's the move? What's your next thing? What's your motivation? What's your direction? And it's a wonderful and incredible question to ask yourself. What is my move? Well, I don't know my move because I don't know where I am, because I'm in a place, I'm in a space, I'm in a climate of being stuck, of stagnation, of indecisiveness, of fear, of anxiety. I'm trapped. How can I know what the move is when I can't move? I'm being paralyzed by fear. I'm being paralyzed by trauma. I'm being paralyzed by circumstance. I'm saying you have controlled movement. If it dictates how you move, it dictates that you move. We don't want anything like that. We don't want any part of our life giving allowance or non-allowance, approval or disapproval to a movement. Meaning my finances don't dictate my investment in self, my belief in self. There is no external factor, not what I haven't been able to do, what I did do. And this is the whole point of us reflecting on movement in this moment. The whole point is to be able to say, what are the moves I've made to get me to the state of mind where I am? What are the moves I didn't make that got me to the state of point of where I am? What are the moves I can make? What are my possible moves? How many of you know that just a shift in perspective is a move? It's motion. We get so caught up on movement being physical. Movement is spiritual. As above, so below. Movement is spiritual. It's mental. It's emotional. This is why we can listen to a song that changes the way we feel. This is why we can watch something that changes the way we feel or think. We can be around someone that doesn't even speak to us and their energy changes the way we see something, because energy is vibration. Movement is vibration. If you cut a song on very loud with speakers, I will feel the movement. And without even getting out of my chair, without even moving my arms or hands or feet, I will feel, because energy and movement is vibration. So when you're feeling stuck and you're in a dark place and you're feeling stagnant and you're feeling hopeless and you have just about pulled yourself to the quickest of sand, you are just as stuck can be, please do know that your next move can improve your movement. I need to get some air into this situation. Breathe. I need to get clarity into this situation. Think. These cause movement. Remember we used the example earlier of the juice jug or the pouch where you stick an extra hole in it, or the windows when you open 2 windows in a car, or open your doors and the air flows differently. Open this thing up. I'm stuck and I can't move and I would need the finances, or I would need this and I need something external to get me out of this place. I'm saying no. Not first, not initially. The first thing you need when being stuck in a situation is to open that thing up. Move your mind, move your energy, move your intention. I swear, as you begin to open it up, more ideas, more clarity, more vision will come pouring into you, because you begin to, I'm opening this thing up. You sitting somewhere at a weight that you can't stand. You can't fit the clothes. You don't want to be in the pictures. You don't want to be around people. You don't feel like yourself. And you think the next move is the diet. You think the next move is not eating or starvation. You think the next move is to get up and go put on some clothes and go work. The next move is to mentally open this thing up. So when you have controlled movement, your pain controls you. Your temptations control you. Your frustrations control you. First thing, open that thing up. Let some air into the situation. The first move I make is in my mind and spirit. That's the first move I make. Before I decide, before a man goes and says, oh, I want this woman to be my wife, he has made 1,000 mental attempts or 1,000 mental decisions, movements towards her, towards bettering himself, towards opening himself up to this role. Before a woman gives birth, all my mamas out there, we have done it 1,000 times, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, opened ourselves up for the movement of life. No one starts in the delivery room. Your move in finances won't start in your bank account. Your move in health will not start in your refrigerator. Your move in love and romance won't start with a partner. Your move and your dreams won't start with an accomplishment. It all is going, the first move is going to be the uncontrolled move. The move of self, the move of mental, the move of spiritual. That's what's going to get it going. So a lot of times we're feeling stuck and stagnant, and the movements around us are chaotic, and the movements around us are draining, and things are moving around us, but they're not moving within us. They're not moving out of us. There is no motion on the inside, slow motion on the outside. We don't need that. We don't need that, right? We want to reflect on the movement. What are the moves I've made? Let me not make those. What are the things I've based my movements on? Let's not do that anymore. What are the moves I made that worked for me? I can remember there was a time when I did this thing, or I did that thing, or I looked into this thing, or I sought counsel about that thing, and things started moving. So how can I get that going in my life? How can I get that moving again? Controlled movements. Life has a gun to your head, and it is dictating your movements, and therefore you feel stuck. You feel controlled. You feel limited. You feel fear. You are not actualizing because you are being a victim of movement. You are being a victim of movement in your own life, in your own destiny, for your own promise. You're letting the destruction move you around. And it's just slapping you, child. It's just slapping you, beating you, holding you back, putting you on timeout. Controlled movement will have you feeling stuck. Open that thing up. Put some air in it, and let's move forward. Let's have some fluidity. So now I want to go into motivated movement, because there's a lot of individuals that's like, nope, I don't have controlled movement. I don't like life. I don't let the child support. I don't let the diagnosis. I don't let, the opinions and the critiques or I don't let these things dictate my movement. I move on my own. I move when I'm motivated. I want you to know that motivated movement, while better than no movement at all, can be equally as traumatizing and stagnatizing as controlled movement. Because still, motivated movement is external. Because still, it is dictated and predicated upon something else putting your movement in place. So you see something, you feel something, you think something, and now you want to move, right? You get on that scale, and now it motivates you towards getting it together. You go swipe that card and get declined. It motivates you to look at your money differently, spend your finances and your resources differently. Motivated movement. Motivated movement. The biggest problem with motivated movement, which many of us have, we'll get up, we'll watch the videos, we'll listen to the self-help, we'll recite our affirmations, and the biggest issue is that motivation can be too sporadic and too rare. It can be too random for us to have fluidity. Motivated movement can still cause you to be stagnant and stuck during times of non-motivation. It is still an external source saying, or force saying, go, be kind, eat well, work out, drink water, have positive words, go write this, go build this, go construct this, think this, feel this. But it is a motivated movement. You still have strings attached to your movement. I want you to reflect on the movement. When you get into places when you're like, you know what? Forget it. My kids said this, and now from now on, I'm moving like this. I went to work, and they gave me Employee of the Month, so it motivated me to move more like this. I'm not saying motivation is a bad thing. I'm saying that movement must be a permanent thing. That means as long as the Creator animates your body, you will have movement. As long as the Creator animates me with spirit, as long as I have life, I will move. As long as I am breathing, I will move. And it does not matter if I heard something great. Now, look, you can have motivation that does expedite or reinforce, is really what motivation is supposed to do. It's supposed to reinforce thoughts you're already entertaining. It's supposed to reinforce plans you've already begun to put in place. The Creator has motivation around you, people, ideas, circumstances. You know, you'll see someone that's in a place you want to be, or you'll have someone push, even like a moment of harmony. You should not need a moment to get your movement. You only need a moment to remind you that you're moving, to remind you to keep moving, to give you a little bit of, hey, 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 let's get it moving. To just ask you the question, what's the move? What's your next level of self? Where are you going with this? But it is not the dictator that you move, because what happens when I got to move my moment and you needed to move, not on a Saturday, not on a Sunday, but a Saturday? What happens when you don't have the motivation that you need to move? Motivated movement turns into stagnation. I want you to look over your movement, reflect on the movement. I don't know why I'm experiencing these extreme highs and lows, extreme instability, these extremes. You know, I'm either really ready to go or not ready to go at all. I'm either positive and I have faith, or I have no faith at all. Why are we feeling like this? Oh, because our movement is motivated. It's because we think we're doing something because we do some things great sometimes. I would rather you have a regular, momentous life and it not even always have the highest of peaks, but it does have consistency. You're consistently in love with self. And it doesn't mean sometimes you hate yourself and then sometimes you superstar. And then bam, you got all these self-love photos and quotes all over Facebook. And then sometimes we don't hear from. That's motivated movement. I'd rather you have consistent movement that may be quiet, that may not be as super duper exciting, that may not be burstful, but you're always okay. And life will have a dip that can pull at you, and life can have a push that can motivate you. But period, it doesn't dictate whether you stop moving. Whether I feel like it or not, because that's motivating. Whether I feel like greatness, whether I feel like faith, whether I feel like motion or not, I will keep my thoughts steady and consistent. I will keep the momentum of high vibration. That's movement. I will keep a momentum of high vibration. You know what? Right now I woke up this morning and nobody was kissing all over my neck and telling me how beautiful I was, making me breakfast. But I bet you I'll move through the day as if such, because I'm going to keep the momentum of high vibration, because I am going to kiss and love all over self this morning. I am going to feed self this morning. I am going to speak life into self this morning. I'm going to keep my momentous moments moving. I am going to keep the momentum of vibration, my motion. When I get stuck, when I give up, when I throw in the towel, when I let go, when I fall down, I have stopped the motion of life and light within self. And if the only thing that can bring about motion of light in life is someone else saying that a girl, is someone else lighting a candle for me, is someone else breathing life into me, if the only movement I have has to be motivated, I won't have movement consistently, and I need it consistently. Because at every moment of every second, in every juncture of every day of my life, I have to be great. And I'm not saying I have to be great where the whole world has accolades for my grade, or the whole world is here for my great. I'm saying I have to be great in that everything in my life is moving smoothly. Joy is fluid. Love is fluid. Peace is fluid because I am fluid. Ashe. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Because I am keeping these things moving, they will move. When I say, you know what, I'm going to go out for walks when I get a boo. Why? When I say I'm going to begin to save once I make more money. When I say, when I get, y'all listen, I'm not preaching to you, I'm speaking to you. Ashe? When I say I'm going to go and move towards this dream once I get into a mental space for this dream. You are saying that you will stop until you feel like you have a climate to start. Instead of the divine, incredible reflection of the Creator that you are, that says, I won't stop because I will create the environment for my start. I create my start. I create my go. I create my finish. I create my flow. Motivation only reinforces and affirms what I'm already doing. So yes, now when I hear T.D. Jakes, whom I love, when I hear him going, he is not initiating or igniting my flowing. He's just high-fiving it. When I see my sister, because yes, she is a source of motivation, I am not going to start loving myself, reflecting within myself, growing myself, taking care of she is just an ashe on my day on what I've already got in motion. That goes for the love of my life. That goes for my children. That goes for my job. That goes for every single thing that touches me. Please know you can't touch me. You can't touch anything on me. That's what it is that I haven't already touched. And y'all take that how y'all want to take that, okay? Trust me, I have touched me first. I have moved me first. I keep air on this thing. I keep flow on the situation. I open it up. I breathe in. I make sure that my life has life. It's not always easier. It's easier said than done when there are, again, many things trying to control, restrict, conduct your movement. I get it. Many things, so then you're feeling restricted and controlled and just let me be great. Nothing wants to let you be great. You have all this controlled movement around you. So now you're looking for a motivator to motivate your movement, but that's only temporary. Your purpose isn't temporary. That's only random, occasional. Your mission isn't occasional. That's only every now and again. It's seasonal. Your being isn't seasonal. Your calling isn't seasonal. Your anointing isn't seasonal. So I gotta find a way to move. Reflect on the movement. I have to find a way to be, create a move. Marvin Sapp, y'all know how much I love Sapp. Marvin Sapp, he has a song that says, let the rivers flow. Woo, child, one of my favorites. He says, I have a river flowing inside of me. Let the rivers flow. I'll take a drink whenever I feel the need. That's Marvin. I'm saying, let there be movement. I'm just in the same place I was. What is your movement? Who are you moving around? Who is moving in your energy? What is the movement? I cannot seem to win. Life is drowning me. I cannot seem to I can't stay above water. What is your movement? Reflect on the movement. Who's moving around you? Whose words are moving throughout your mind? What is moving your spirit? Huh? Is lust moving you? Is greed moving you? Is fear moving you? What's moving you? What's moving you? Because I promise you that the lack of movement comes from the conductor. The friction and movement, it's coming from the mover. Who's moving you? What's moving you? Why is it moving you? How is it moving you? Are you letting life flow within yourself? Are you the conductor? Have you decided that no external force will move you? My Walamu that I trained under for all the great work that I do, Baba Imhotep Fatu, he always had this saying that I hold on to every day: be the unmovable mover. The unmovable mover. Y'all better, somebody better. You know? The unmovable mover, meaning move life. Move life. Move the trauma. Move the pain. Move the destruction. Move the deception. Look, some people make the moves that they make because it's all that they know. I don't know another movement. I don't know another direction. Look, my parents did this jumping jack. My parents did this hamster wheel. My uncles and aunts, my grandparents, they all did this hamster wheel. Everybody on the block, everybody on the porch, everybody in the jail, everybody. This the move. These are the moves. And I'm saying the life is full of new direction. I do what I do and I make the moves that I make because I don't know anything different. Life is full of different. Life is full of different. You making the same move because you're looking in the same places for your motivation and you're in the same patterns mentally. But I promise you, you think that your next move is physical. You think that your exit is physical. You think your transformation is a physical move. You think that your victory is going to be a physical move. Not initially. The first move, like I say, when the brothers ask you, what's the move? The first move is mental and spiritual. I got to stop thinking like this. I have to stop believing like this. I have to stop seeing like this. The way that I communicate and the way that I think and the way that I behave and what I believe, it has to grow. Because I only can move in this space. I'm only moving in this space. What's your move? Reflect on the movement. Look, I read this post this morning by one of my dear friends, and he said that he was doing a science experiment with some students, and it said that fleas who can jump like feet, I think they can jump like 7 or 8 feet. It may be even more than that. I'm guessing on that one. But fleas who have a great range of jumping, definitely taller than a human being, a tiny little flea, right? But that if you put a flea in a jar for 3 days, they will lose memory on their ability to jump. They will no longer rely on their ability to jump, and they will stop jumping. It only takes 3 days and they'll stop jumping. And then after those 3 days, if they have any babies, like the fleas lay their little eggs and their little babies come out, the babies won't jump at all. They won't even attempt to jump because the fleas with the lid on their jar lost faith in their ability to jump. Something that can jump higher than something 20 times its size. What I'm saying is the ability to move is spiritual and it's mental. And yes, we feel it in the physical. We want to revisit. We want to stay. We want to look back, and not in the positive way. We want to hold on. We want to try less. We don't want to fall. We don't want to be disappointed. We don't want to hurt. And some of us don't know. And we're afraid of what we don't know. But I'm trying to tell you, reflect on the movement. Reflect on the movement in your life when you're stagnant, when this thing is not moving, when this thing is not working. Nobody drives in a car and then when the car stops moving, they just sit in the car. They reflect. Where did I go? Do I have gas? Where did I come from? Did I drive over something? Gave me a flat tire? Is there a check engine light on? Reflect. Look over. Look into. Look back. I never seen nobody who car broke down. They just sat in the car for a week because the car stopped moving. But us, life will stop moving for us. We'll sit in it. Your dreams will stop moving for you. Stagnation will happen for you. The career will stop progressing for you. The money will stop flowing for you and you'll stop. The love and the relationships, they'll become complicated and you'll stop. The stagnation will happen because once it all stops, you'll just get stuck. No. You driving along and that car breaks down, you're going to get out that car. And you're going to call for help. You're going to look under the hood, reflect. You're going to check your engine, reflect. You're going to look at your tires, reflect. Reflect on the movement. Why am I not moving? Which brings us to our final point before we get up out of this moment, divine movement. Now we talked about controlled movement and how that's not where it's at, right? How that's just going to drive us down into the ground without any types of victories and accomplishments, right? And we talked about motivated movement, occasionally feeling like we can do it. Having external forces still pushing us to do it, sometimes, maybe, once in a while, feeling like we're going to be okay. But divine movement. Ooh, somebody say divine movement. Divine movement. Meaning, like I said earlier, as long as I have animation within self to move, I will move. As long as my mouth can move, I will pray, I will give thanks, I will affirm. That is not predicated upon any other thing or being. As long as my eyelids will blink and open and close, I will see God in life. I will see beauty and light in all things. That is not predicated upon what is actually before me, what I actually am seeing, or anyone else around me and what they see. As long as I have the arms and hands, I will work and I will love and I will gather and I will protect and I will create divine movement. Divine movement means natural movement. I'm not about to sit up here and talk about what I can't do when my body and my mind is showing me what I can. Can you stand up? Stand up. Can you walk? Walk. Can you run? Run. Can you jump? Jump. Can you say? Say. Can you know? Know. Can you see? See. Can you hear? Hear. Divine movement. I don't hear only what life thinks I should. I don't feel only what my circumstances allow me to. I am choosing to tap into the divinity of myself in order to move. Move. There are brothers and babies and mamas incarcerated in cells. Physically, they can't go anywhere. Freedom is in the mind until it's not. That's a Harmony original, y'all. Freedom is in the mind until it's not. You start here with the body that you're working on until your body is where you need it to be, and then you continue to move it forward. It starts here till you have the love and the committed relationship and the complementary counterpart. Until you don't, it starts here. Preparing myself for unconditional love. That starts with me. preparing myself for growth and development and navigation through trauma and pain. That starts with me growing out of circumstance. It starts here. Divine movement. Divine movement. Free me from my stagnation. Free me from my indecisiveness. Free me from my doubt. I am frozen in fear. I am paralyzed in problems because I think that my movement is physical. I think that the way out of this is going to be how much money I have. I think that the way out of this is going to be how many friends I have, how much love I have, how much attention I have, how much affection I have, how much agreement and connection and collaboration I have. I think that the way out of this is physical. I think my next move, the best move, the first move is physical. And so I try that. I go and put this big lump sum of money to the side. I start this crazy workout regimen. I strip my diet of all these breads and sugars and things like that. I do all these extreme things. I put myself out there on Facebook for friends and dating. And I'm doing all these physical things to get this thing moving. And what happens? Things start moving. Oh, I got the lump sum. Or I start the regimen. Or I got the attention. But here's the thing. This didn't move. So even when I got the lump sum, I'm still living in trauma. Mentally, I still have fear that I can't do it. So I'll spend it. So I'll go out and do some retail therapy and all that money I put to the side is gone. So I'll start out with this extreme diet, but then it'll wear me out because then the same thing that was bothering me in the first place to put me in this predicament in the first place is still there. It hasn't moved. And then I'll go on a binge, right? And then all these people will be superficially your friends and giving you attention and giving you likes and giving you accolades and all of this and all of that. But you don't love you. You don't know you. You haven't moved here first. Freedom is mental until it's not. It starts here. Divine movement. Divine movement is the movement of nature. It is loving yourself in your natural state. Right here today, I don't care if you live in a car, an apartment, a big old mansion. It is not loving yourself and motivating and moving your life when you get what you want. It is moving your life towards what you want because you love and honor your life. And you have faith and agreement with self and creation that you are on your way to what you deserve next. But it doesn't mean that you aren't in where you would like to be now. I'm happy today, and I'm happy to continue to move. I let that thing flow. Let it flow through your life. Yo, open a window in the front and the back. Open the front door and the back door and let life flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. I'm feeling stuck. I can't breathe. Y'all think about when we're cooking or burning something and all the smoke happens all over the house. What is the first thing we do? We start fanning that thing, but we open up all the windows and we open up all the doors. Let the air flow. Whatever is stuck in your life needs to be cleared on out. There is not enough movement. There is not enough movement of peace. There is not enough movement of faith. There is not enough movement of strength. There is not enough movement of positivity. And that's why what's prevailing and what's choking you and what's keeping you and what's holding you is the negativity. It is the doubt. It is the fear. It is the self-destruction. It is the self-intoxication. That's what you woke up with this morning because you didn't move it. You didn't move it. I hope that in this moment you got some boxes today. Let me give you some boxes and some packing tape. Pack that stuff up, Move that stuff out. Reflect on the movement. If I'm feeling stuck, I am divine. I have divine movement. The Creator have dictated in my spirit innately that I move. That I say mountain move and it moves. Reflect on the movement. That I say let there be light and there be light. Am I not? Jinyame? That I said let there be peace and there be peace. That I said let there be abundance and there'll be abundance. Listen, I need to move this thing. What's your move? What is moving? Reflect on it. What is moving in my life? What is moving my thoughts? What is moving my actions? What have I done to get to the place that I am today? What moves have I made? What moves have I not made? Move it. Move it. Reflect on the movement. Do not get stuck where you're stuck. I can't do this. I don't like this job. I don't like this relationship. I don't like the way the family is. It's just this. We're just stuck in trauma. We're just stuck in pain. We're just stuck in memories. We're just stuck in stagnation. We just don't believe. We just can't hold on. We just can't be straight. Put some air on that situation. Let it move. Reflect on your movement. Move differently. I got to move differently. My thoughts have to move. They can't stay here. Trust me, I know some of you want to stay where you're comfortable or with where you're familiar because the pain is very familiar. But you have to get to the point you say, I can't stay here. I can't stay here, dear. I can't stay here. The movement. I have to let my life move. I have to let my love move. In order for it to grow, it has to move. Nothing has ever grown in one place. Movement. Reflect on it. So when you're feeling, when you're thinking, when your climate is, when your life is, move it. Move it. Ashe. Move it with your mind. Move it with your heart. Move it with your thoughts. Move it with your faith. Move it. The authority is in you. Reflect on the movement and watch how that thing starts moving. Watch how life just starts unfolding. Make sure that your movements are divine. They aren't just motivated externally. They aren't controlled, but they're divine movements. Every movement is divine. Every thought is divine. This is my goal. This is my mission. Am I moving within my divine authority? Am I moving within my divine rights? Because that's what's going to keep my life moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. I love you all so much. I'm so happy to have had a moment with you. Don't forget some of them shout outs I did at the beginning. Give people love so they can keep it moving, okay? Their lives can keep moving. I am so grateful. If I can get it out. I am so grateful to have had a moment with you today. I look forward to a moment with you next week. Take real good care of yourself. Surely take good care of someone else. I love you, love you, love you. And I will see you for another moment next week.